Hi, Freya here. Welcome to my channel. Part B. Sorry, I totally blabbed on way longer than I meant to. So, okay, here's the continuation of my surgery. So I've seen them do the surgery where they have your legs just exposed and your belly exposed and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, this looks so uncomfortable. Like, I'm self-conscious of my upper legs and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to be exposed. But they were putting a blanket on me, and that was actually a warming blanket. So she said at first it's going to feel cold, and it really did feel cold in the beginning, and then it would warm up. But I never, honestly, I wasn't around long enough to feel it get warmed up. But the point is that my legs were covered, which was awesome. And as soon as that, like, I felt so much more reassured. And first of all, like, when I was lying there and I was like, this is so great. This is so real. Like, the fact that I'm doing this, and I also felt so moved because they were taking such good care of me, and like they were making sure I was comfortable, and I was just like moved by the whole experience. And I also was like, okay, I knew I have to do this. I have to do this. Like, there's no backing out. There's no backing out now, and I knew I shouldn't back out. Like, I need to do this. So yeah, when I was lying there, I was just like moved and in awe, and I was just like, this is surreal. This is crazy. So, then I see the anesthesiologist inject into my IV bag something, obviously what's going to put me to sleep. And then they have the gas mask, although it's not gas. I don't know what it is. They say it's oxygen, but honestly, it smelled really bad. So they put it on my face, and I literally took 3 breaths and was thinking, oh, this smells so plasticky, and I was gone. So that's how that went. Then I woke up instantly. Like, that's what the anesthesiologist said. It's like a dreamless sleep, and it's instant. Like, you gone, and then you wake up. Like, that's it. And hours have passed. So I woke up, and I was so groggy, and I was just like in and out, and I actually started crying. Like, that's one of the first things I did. And I just heard the nurses say, oh, it's okay, don't cry, don't cry. And I was just like, oh, okay, I won't cry. And then 2 more things I did. I asked for the time. So actually, I don't know why I did that, but I did. So I actually know what time I woke up. So it was 10:30. And also because I just came out of surgery, and I guess it touched my stomach because I had a bunch of blood on my hand, and I was like looking like, what? Why is that there? Like, I remember seeing like, why is that there? So they were like cleaning me up and making sure I'm bandaged okay and stuff. And then I was just really unhappy being there, and I don't know why, but like, I have a feeling like I might have said, can we go to the room now? Like, can we get out of this area? Or she said, do you want to go to the room? And I was like, yeah, let's go. But I was not very long there. Of course, I don't really have a sense of time, but I feel like I was there maybe 15 minutes. So then I was wheeled to the room, and immediately they gave me these little cups with water. And I think they gave me painkillers as well. Definitely gave me painkillers. And that's when, I was lying there, like, and I have a photo of myself, and you could just see just the pure misery. And because I obviously had things in my mouth and nose, and I have a very sensitive nose, like, I get a bloody nose in like 2 seconds. I had all this blood all up in here, like I was all bloody and crusty, and I was just like pulling like blood off my mouth and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, it was not their fault, honestly. Like, you can't do anything to my nose without me going, of course, that's a health thing too, so yeah. So I probably lay there for like maybe a couple of hours, just kind of getting out of my groggy state. And I took a photo of myself, and I called my family, and I told them that I was out, and I was just feeling so groggy, and I was in pain, but I called everyone. Actually, I don't think I called Deb. I called Michael, I called Lucy, and I called my parents. Lucy's my sister. And I told them that I had woken up and that I was in so much pain. And although I have to say, the first day, because I was so drugged, I didn't even know what was going on. The pain really came. Okay, first of all, the gas pain came almost instant. So it just, all this gas that they pump up your abdomen so that they can actually see in there. So all of that gas has to leave your body. And with some people, it goes in their shoulders. It hurt. Like for me, it was in my chest bone, like right in the middle. It was pressing, and underneath my boob, it was just all the gas was pressing, and up in my kidney area. Like I felt like my kidneys were being crushed. So, yeah, that was just super uncomfortable. And for gas, they give you Gas X, and that stuff really works. Really works. For some other people, they're like, no, this didn't do anything for me. But they gave me this, like, the medicine in an IV bag, and that shit did nothing for me. So I guess we're all different, like, what does something for you. So, but the gas pills really, really helped. And then afterwards, they were like, okay, do you want to go for a walk now? So I got up with my, IV pushy thing. And, yeah, and that's the other thing. That is the other thing. In the hospital, when you're in pain, your body shame just goes right out the window. Like, I don't even care if my butt is hanging out or if anyone sees my boob or whatever. Actually, lots of people saw my boobs probably, but like, even like when they were like asking me to lift my shirt, like I think I was so out of it that my boob was like sticking out at the bottom. I didn't even care. Like, I was just like, I'm sure they have, first of all, they're nurses, they've seen it all. Like, what do they care? They don't care. But second of all, I didn't even care. Like, I was just like, I don't care. Like, everything hurts. Like, I don't care. So, yeah, I was walking circles, and then the next woman, obviously, that one of the Persian women that had the surgery, she was, oh my God, poor woman. She was having the hardest time. So even just like exactly where I was for 15 minutes, I think she was there for an hour, and she was moaning, and she was in just so much pain and so much discomfort, and she was gagging and everything. Like, she was really having a hard time. And so after I walked the circle, I sat down on the chair because I had I had the smallest room. Like, everybody else had double my room. My room was teeny tiny, which is fine. Honestly, it's fine, but it was really small. So I went in, and then I sat down on the chair, and I had this wave of just like horrific nausea come over me. And I was just like, ooh, okay, can I have a bowl, please? Like, this is horrible. But it went away. Like, I kind of meditated through it, and I didn't throw up because I was hearing the other woman gagging and everything. And I was like, that cannot be good for your brand new stomach. Like, you have staples in there, like, that cannot be good for you. So I am so happy that I just kind of went, like, I just did like lots and lots of breathing, and I just went through my nausea, and it just went away. And I had about 4 really, really, and one of the drugs also, as soon as it goes in the IV, it just made me like so queasy. So, but yeah, no, the only times that I've gagged during this process is swallowing crushed painkillers. That, I don't know if anyone has ever tasted a crushed pill. It is beyond nasty, and it's not like, oh, you just swallow it, and no, I'm sitting there gagging and like drinking water immediately. So, crushed pills suck. Tomorrow I don't have to crush anymore, so that is exciting. Actually, I just crushed a pill like an hour ago, and I even didn't need to do that. I could probably have swallowed it. But whatever. Anyway, so then, yeah, I walked around, I sat down, I called my sister, and it was interesting because really some people had me at times where I was okay because I had just taken a painkiller. And then some people really, like, I was not even able to have a conversation. I was just like, oh, the whole time. So, my boyfriend actually was one of the unfortunate ones where I constantly called him when I was, like, not feeling good. So he was just, like, a bit concerned about me. And then I was like, yeah, no, yeah, that's just honestly the way it worked out. I didn't plan that, yeah. And then so I would basically get back in bed, lie there for a little bit, get up, go for some walks around the reception hospital area. And then, yeah, 2 more women had the surgery that morning, and, yeah, one of them had, the other Persian woman had the hernia repaired, so she had and then she walked around and she stopped and we talked for a moment, like, oh, like, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? And she said, like, have you, even this is TMI, but she said, like, did you fart at all? And I'm like, no. She's like, me neither. And we're like upset about it because that actually relieves gas. So we were like, oh, like, that's annoying. And then she was saying, like, where she had gas pain, I was saying where I had gas pain, and it was interesting. And then the white woman, I didn't talk to her at all. I just talked to the 2 Persian women. And then, yeah, we were just having water, and they were, in these little 30 ml cups. So the first day, that's what we were having. And then, so then overnight, which of course anyone that has been in a hospital and tried to sleep in a hospital, it's super annoying because every couple of hours the nurses come in to check up on you and they wake you up. So you were like, I just got comfortable, I just fell asleep, and then they come in to check up on you, which is great. I mean, they took such good care of me, Also, yeah, and the first day, I did not ask for painkillers on time. Like, I didn't understand that I basically had to call them and say, I need painkillers, I'm in pain. The second day, I definitely got more of that, or actually, like, more in the evening, in the nighttime, I was just like, I'm in so much pain for the gas. They gave me Gas X, which I have now. I have them too. Although I feel good now. I woke up with stomach pain because my painkiller had worn off, so I had to take another one. I'm taking apparently like one of the most addictive, like craziest painkillers, but luckily I'm not really into drugs, so as soon as I don't feel pain, I'm not gonna take it. And then I also don't feel like high on it. Like, I don't know. I keep taking this shit anyway. That's, yeah, another story, I guess. Yeah. So they told us the night before that at 7 o'clock in the morning we would be brought down to the discharge area. So I had a few hours of sleep. Like, I think I slept between like 11 and 2, and then I might have slept between 4 and 6 or something. Like, I was listening to like really beautiful kind of relaxing music, and then the nurses were coming in, they're like, oh, I like your music, and I'm like, yeah, I need this right now. So yeah, I was able to sleep okay, and I was fairly comfortable. Yeah, and I also was figuring out like which the painkiller was actually working. Like I said, the little IV bags did nothing. Really, the one that worked was exactly the nasty one that she was giving me with syrup, which that one is the one I have right now. Works beautifully and quickly. I don't know what it's called. I'm not gonna find out what it's called. It's like a typical name. Like, if once I say it, people are like, oh yeah, that one. That one worked really well. And then I also had some pink stuff that she would inject into my IV, and that stuff. That one made me queasy, but it also worked really well. So, yeah. So I woke up around 5, I guess, maybe 5 or 6 in the morning. And then the nurse came in and she's like, oh, would you, let's get you dressed. And I was just like, okay, like I thought I had like way more time to be there, but of course not, because they said 7. So she helped me kind of get dressed. And then I found out this massive bruise. Yeah, then at like 7:15 or something, like I packed all my stuff, and then we brought us all downstairs. And these rooms were quite small. They were really, really small. Some had beds and some had like reclining chairs. And then that nurse, she was great. She was the discharge nurse, she was amazing. Like, she came in and there was this guy that was training, and he was really good too. Like, he went above and beyond. Like, when I was on my way out, like, he he helped us a lot in the pharmacy, because at that point my painkiller had worn off and I was just not happy, and I had to get all this stuff from the pharmacy, and that was really bad. But he really helped. He was really nice. I just put a lot in my mouth there, but I couldn't swallow it all at once. That would have hurt. Anyway, yeah. Often right now I notice that when I put something in my stomach will be like, ooh, like just unhappy with it. It'll gurgle and it'll hurt, and I feel there's air in there, so I have to burp it up, and it can be noisy. Like and I know a lot of people say that have had bariatric surgery, it's like their stomachs are so noisy, and I don't even care. Like if my stomach goes, I'm gonna be like, that was my stomach. So sorry. Yeah, so yeah, we were in the discharge area. They told us to walk the hall. There was a long hallway, because the more you walk, the more of the gas goes away. It also eliminates the problem of blood clots. Speaking of, I'm actually going to go and put on my compression stockings, because I don't think I'm sleeping anymore today. So I'll be right back.